Hey Sagittarius, your June tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor and welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. Your main themes for June, your main theme for June is mindfulness, and then from the flower therapy deck you have Daffodil. It says, share the message of love, rivers of love flow within you and others may benefit from this healing energy. Be mindful of each word that passes your lips. I think that's kind of fascinating because you have mindfulness and it says be mindful right there in the Daffodil card. So that's really cool. I love it when things have synchronistic lineups like that. So what that means for June is that, like it says in the 4 agreements, being impeccable with your word. So your words, they have tremendous power to create and heal or harm and destroy, to nurture, to teach. Communication is a portal of sorts, and through it, energy enters into the world. If you're into chakra stuff, this would be balancing the heart and the throat chakras so that love can enter this world freely through your words. Some of you might find that the head can sometimes get in the way of that, and you might need to practice communicating more from the heart. And that might also include slowing down and choosing your words more intentionally. And also, finally, being honest is not an excuse to be cutting. You can be honest and know your audience and choose words that will help what you need to say be received. So for a little nudge on how to do this, a little bit of advice, or maybe it's something you need to hear on the matter, you have the 9 of Wands. So this is a reminder about accessing patience and perseverance. If at first you don't succeed, don't beat yourself up, just try and try again. It's not about how many times you fail, but how many times you pick yourself back up, right? So if this is something that you've already been working on, you are very close to success. It is just around the corner. You're gaining a lot of XP, as they say. This is also, though, indicating a defensiveness. And so like a potential trigger ability that comes from exhaustion. So that might be something to look at and take steps to heal if that's kind of a blockage to this. So for where you will see the most change, you have the Chariot in reverse. So there might definitely be a pause in the action in some area of your life this month. That could be due to changes in mobility, for example, like a physical injury or car issues, loss of a license maybe. But for others, it's like a bifurcation of direction, like a competing goal or a distraction making you have to stop before you go any further and give yourself more distance to backtrack. Or it's like, all of a sudden there's a fork in the road and you don't know which way you're going, and so you just go, wait, which way? It could be a disappointment or failure that doesn't necessarily alter your life in any big way, other than it causes you to ask some questions about where you're going, or sometimes when that happens, the ego can hold you back by taking the wind out of your sails as a self-protection measure. Like, we're not ready to try that again, once bitten, twice shy, as they say. So for what will be your biggest obstacle, you have the Knight of Wands. So you would think the Chariot in reverse would be enough of an obstacle in itself, but it wouldn't be if you could surrender to it and allow the stillness, because mindfulness is your theme of the month after all. But the obstacle to the mindfulness that the slowdowns are trying to facilitate is going to be a restlessness, a cabin fever, an itchiness for adventure or escape. I really feel escapism with this. Now, for some of you, court cards are going to represent someone outside of yourself. And if that's the case for you, it's going to be someone who's showing up in an inconsistent way. Someone you might find it difficult to have patience for. A little bit of a chaotic energy that doesn't really inspire these loving words in you. Someone that might offer a challenge in that area. So for the best thing about this month, you have someone with, you have the Page of Wands. I'm trying to kind of reveal them off camera a little bit because I know there are a few illustrations that are not YouTube approvable off the bat. So anyway, Page of Wands as the best part of this month. I actually really love this. This month could serve as a much needed reset for you that rejuvenates your energy, your zest for life, your curiosity, your childlike wonder, inner child awakening. And with that almost audacious belief in yourself that tends to get stamped out of us as we move through childhood and early adulthood. But man, when you were born, when you were little, you thought you could do anything. So it's feeling the magic flowing in your veins again, if that's something that you lost in childhood. Now, all of that is if this represents your energy. Now, if it represents someone else, you might be around someone like that awakens that in you, or you actually might be around children, like grandchildren or kids, and they could be lighting up your life with their energy and spirit. Also, pets can do the same thing. Now, for others of you, this could be the sparking of some sexual chemistry between you and another person, which is always fun, right? So for your influence and impact on others, you have the Seven of Swords reversed. So this is great with that sharing of a message of love, because you could be coming out with some things that people needed to hear. Some things that you haven't told people before. And maybe it's just something you thought they should know, but you needed to say it. Until you actually put into words, they actually didn't know. Or they needed to hear it. So there is some truth being revealed, and you might be revealing a little bit more of yourself, which allows people to get to know you better, or to see you more clearly, or to see you more authentically. Now, upright, this is an energy of withholding. So in reverse, it's essentially the effects of this share the message of love card in practice. It will be what happens when you do this. So for what opportunities you should be looking for, this is another one. You have the World. Let's get her put down right. There's opportunities for successful closure on a long-running life arc at this time. Something being wrapped up in a pretty bow so that you can feel good about the next chapter as it begins to unfold for you. This also means opportunities to celebrate yourself and all that you've accomplished, how far you've come. And another thing, it's an expansion of perspective. Not just the change of perspective that comes with the Hanged Man, but it's even broader, like the bigger picture. But you could be finding it in the smallest things, the humble things, the things that you've overlooked before experimenting and practicing with this more mindfulness. So it's opportunities to find the universe in your coffee mug, or the sprouting of a houseplant, or something like that. So where you will find the most support, you have the High Priestess, your intuition. While it is always communicating with you, it might be extra loud or understandable, clear, accessible, and you may be better able to tune in and to hear it and to actually apply what it is telling you right now. It's like having someone with all of the answers and a little earpiece telling you what to say and do, like Cyrano. But the trick is that mindfulness, yes, but it is also trust and faith in that, and that it is coming from a loving universe and a loving place within you. So for your self-care directive, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is talking about self-preservation. So I don't think it's the same as self-care. Taking care of yourself in a protective kind of way. Conserving your resources, being extra protective of your physical and financial well-being. It says share the message of love, not money that you can't afford to spend or compromising your safety. It's a great time to revisit and reassert your boundaries. In a loving way, of course. Now, for some of you, it's not really in relation to others, but it's like being mindful of your spending to help take care of your security, or being mindful of the substances that you take in to help take care of your body for the long term. If that Page of Wands is actually talking about a sexual fling for you, then it's going to talk about protecting your sexual health with honest conversations and other safety precautions. Some of you might need to revisit and re-up your insurance. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.